How is everybody doing today? I'm sorry that I'm a few minutes late. I finally left the. Would you like to be recognized, Chairman Burns?
I'm just glad you're here, Mr.
Oh, thank you. I finally left. They're still debating a bill in public safety. So, anyway, we have some special guests here. I thought. Where's some of our? We had some folks from the Agribusiness Council here. Did they leave? I was 3 minutes late. Yeah. Good Lord. Huh? I actually gave. Yeah, and thank y'all for the pecan pie. I gave mine to the young folks that work in Senate Press. I'm afraid it won't affect their waistline as much as it will mine. All right, we're going to call this meeting of the Senate Agricultural and Consumer Affairs Committee to order. And I think I would like to start off with the peach farmer from Hall County, from L.A., Lower Alto. Chairman Eccles, you 16?
Yes, sir.
Would you like to start us off with a word of prayer?
Y'all bow with me. Heavenly Father, Lord, we just thank you for today and all the many blessings that you've given us, Lord. Just be with us as we go through this committee meeting, and I pray, Lord, that we have open minds as we debate these bills and listen to the folks who brought them, and just pray that they're for the betterment of citizens in the state of Georgia. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. All right, we have Chairman Anderson. Your light is blinking. I assume you want to be recognized, and I'm going to do so now, our Vice Chairman.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir, Mr.
I
Chairman.
didn't know you had a lopsided committee.
Yeah. And we even have some our friends that are. We even got one of our friends on the left on the right. So, yeah.
I like the left.
I appreciate you recognizing that fact. All right. There we go. Let me get my glasses. All right. We're going to start off, members of the committee, with SB 551. Chairman Watson, the floor is yours. Would you like to tell the committee what you got? I think right. If you're okay with it, Mr. Chairman, right there is fine with me. You number 11. Is that correct, Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead. Floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I guess if you will give me one personal point, I'd like to let everybody know that I have a leadership Colquitt County group there in the back row that are supporting me on this. So y'all wave, everybody. Yeah. All right. Thank y'all for being here. They want to see how it works. So, oh yeah, 100%.
Wait a minute now.
Yeah. Well, I want to show them how efficient we are in government, Senator. This is a good red tape rollback bill, getting rid of government regulations and helping out our Department of Agriculture. This is a bill that I brought to them. Quick background on it is across our state, you currently have to have a egg candling license to sell eggs from your backyard across the state. So if you have backyard flock and you have eggs, you don't make eggs, but produce eggs, and you want to sell them at a local farmer's market, you have to have an egg candling license from the Department of Agriculture. The Georgia Department of Agriculture has to provide these licenses and classes with a test free of charge. They offer these classes monthly, but the demand has been tremendous and growing over the last few months and years, and so we have high demand for this. They cannot charge anything for this. When you candle eggs, it's you're grading the eggs. It's not a food safety issue. It's a grading issue to determine if the eggs are fertile or not. And so, and I think the history goes back to a long time ago. They would candle them by using an actual candle, and that's how they were able to shine the light through the egg to determine this. So, being that we've got so much demand for this, it's not a food safety issue. We're one of only few states that still require a candling license. So we are basically just telling the department that they do not have to require this anymore. And if you have backyard eggs and you want to sell them to your neighbor or your kids sell them out in the front yard, you can do so without breaking the Georgia state law. And so it just allows the department to free up some staff and do some other food safety things. Again, this is not a food safety issue. It doesn't affect large scale. They're all controlled under federal law. So we just want to try to help our folks out across the state sell their farm-raised eggs and not be in violation of state law. And that's what the bill does, Mr. Chairman, and I'll be glad to take any questions if there are any.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman. We're lighting up here, Mr. Chairman.
Oh, my
We're gonna
goodness.
start off with Chairman Anderson. Go ahead, Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion at the proper time to get a dear friend of mine back home off my back about this issue.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We don't let us forget that, Sarah. All right, now we're going down to Chairman Eccles.
You had, Senator Watson, you had me at red tape rollback. I also, I don't know if I want to fight him or not, but I would like to get his neighbor, Chairman Anderson's neighbor, off his back, but I'd make a motion to pass. You said you want to get your neighbor off your back. You didn't say you wanted to make
No,
a
he
motion.
said at the proper time, but I tell you what we'll do, Mr. Chairman, we'll let you second it. How about that? Number 12. All right, Senator Howard.
Serious question. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As a city boy, who does not raise freshmen, freshmen. Red tape rollback. Huh? Okay. I know we have a lot of friends here and who are all about smaller government. Isn't that right?
That's absolutely
Just so I can better understand, when I talk to my neighbors in Cobb and Fulton County, what's the threshold from where it becomes a backyard operation of just, is there a certain number of eggs before it turns into this gets into federal territory? What's that threshold?
I don't know what that threshold is, but I do know that, a large scale producer, I don't know what the volume level is, but they're going to fall under federal law. They've got to get different licenses, different rules and regulations are followed by them. These are people that just decide one day that they want to go buy some chickens and they want to, start making eggs, whether it be a project for their kids or just because they enjoy it and spend time with their family and they want to raise their own eggs because they know where they come from. So this is really on a small, direct from the farm to consumer basis, where at a commercial level, you're going to have contracts and you're going to be large scale. And so the folks that we're talking about in this, and I know the department is here, and if they need to step in and help with this, they can. But the volume they think would, 50 flats a week, and I don't know how many eggs that is, but they're
Yeah, and I'll add too, if you don't mind,
Please.
Mr. Chairman.
Yep.
When you get talking about these large operations, just like Chairman Watson and I, we sell to big grocery stores, right? And so we have to do all kind of food safety, social responsibility audits. We're Global Gap Primus certified, all that kind of stuff, And so when these larger operators, that's what they would be. But for small backyard, it's just two completely different business models, if you understand what I'm saying. All the retailers, there's a lot that we have to go through. Now that goes into another story about, but I won't belabor the point about how some of the things that farmers have to go through versus on down the supply chain. But I want to ask a question, Chairman Watson. Is it going to make any difference whether or not these eggs are going to be poached, scrambled, or fried?
It will not. We hope there's a lot more of that going on.
All right, I think we've got a motion. I believe it's Senator Chairman Anderson. You wanted to make a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I'd be delighted to make a motion to get my best friend off my back home. Senate Bill 551.
All righty.
Do pass.
pass, and I believe I had promised the wild man from Hall County down there that he could second it.
Make the motion, we second it. I second it.
All right, we have a motion and a second.
Second your motion.
Yeah, we're
I second your motion.
wow, people are fighting to second the motion on this bill. It's
Good bill, Mr.
good
Chairman.
bill,
Red
good-
tape rollback.
good bill. Well, I think we're just trying to show off for the folks from Colquitt County back there, show them how good a senator you are. Isn't that right?
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, all right, you're recognized, Chairman Anderson. I can see it in your eyes.
So, I'm all for this bill, but I am kind of disappointed in the ethics chairman for not demonstrating handling of eggs.
Would you, Chairman, would you feel more comfortable if we could get you down to Colquitt County and get you through a tutorial on that? All right. We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All right. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Is any opposed? All right. Passes unanimously.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee.
All right. Thank you all. Now, we're moving on to, I know everybody's got plenty of places to be, but we have another bill here that we've heard testimony on before. Senator Harrell, you want to, yeah. I hope, Chairman Watson, that they're happy with your performance and not disappointed. I don't know. Okay. Before you, members of the committee, we have Senate Bill 278. We do have a committee sub. The committee sub is, I believe you're going to be working on LC. Senator Harrell, tell me if I'm correct in this. Is LC 600324S? Correct. Okay. All right. Good deal. I need to turn your mic on. I apologize for that. I've never gotten used to all of this, but I have gotten better than I once was. So the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So we've talked about eggs. Now we're going to talk about corn, which is making me hungry for some eggs and grits. This is the Corn Masa Nutrition Enhancement Act. My office has nicknamed it simply the Corn Bill. And being a girl who was raised in Indiana, I think that's appropriate for me to be taking on a corn bill. We have heard this bill before. If you remember, it's been almost a year ago, but we had a whole 1 hour hearing on this bill where I brought a panel of experts and y'all had lots of questions and got lots of answers. I've brought one of those experts with me today. Sharon, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, thank you. My name is Sharon Bustrak. I am a technical advisor with the Food Fortification Initiative.
So, a couple decades ago, we discovered that we could prevent a disability called spina bifida by making sure that women of reproductive age had enough folic acid in their system. Spina bifida is a neural tube defect, and it occurs very early in pregnancy, often before a woman knows she's pregnant, when the spine is developing, and it doesn't close properly, which can cause a lifetime disability. It happens so early in pregnancy that women should have enough folic acid in their system even before they're pregnant. So it becomes like too late once they go for their first prenatal visit and get put on prenatal vitamins. Oftentimes that's too late. So a couple of decades ago, when we discovered this connection between folic acid and neural tube defects, or spina bifida, there was a movement to fortify wheat. And so this was like 2 decades ago, because I remember, because I was actually the executive director of the organization, the Healthy Mothers, Healthy Babies Coalition of Georgia, and we actually worked on this effort to try to get this folic acid fortifying wheat. And so we did do that 2 decades ago, and the rate of spina bifida has decreased, but we realized that it wasn't decreasing in the Latino community, and that's because they don't eat a lot of wheat. They eat corn. So what this bill does is it calls for the fortification of corn flour with folic acid so that the Latino community can get enough folic acid so we can get the rate of spina bifida down in the Latino community. This is a very costly disorder as well, and y'all know that I always come to you to make sure we adequately fund the now comp waivers. Well, this is somebody who grows up with spina bifida, somebody that may fall under the need for these now comp waivers, which we always have a hard time finding enough money to cover. So this can save the state money down the road. I'm going to, so basically we're fortifying the flour. We do have 3 exceptions built in to the bill. There's an exemption for the cottage food industry. There's an exemption for food service establishments, like restaurants, and there's an exemption for snack foods. So I'll stop there, and if there are any questions or.
All right, we have Chairman Watson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good bill, obviously, very supportive, and the migrant population, we obviously use a lot of them in our industry, and very supportive. I did have one question on lines 43 and where the definition of snack food. Typically, is snack food means a product that is intended for immediate consumption, is typically prepackaged in small or single serving portions, and is primarily consumed between meals, including. So what sizes does that entail? I know they have small bags and we have big bags. I don't want manufacturers to have different formulas for. I think it's a pretty simple fix. Maybe even striking that where we don't include that. I don't want a formula for a small bag and a formula for a big bag. If we just let it all be the same, does that make sense? Or you want to answer?
It does, and I had a version of this bill that did not have an exemption for snack foods, and that's actually how I wanted to move forward, but I had some feedback from the industry who wanted the exemption. So you're saying that it may be difficult to fortify a larger bag but not fortify a smaller bag?
Well, we just talk about cost, I guess.
Well, the thing is, you could, if you're manufacturing a large bag of something, this doesn't mean you can't fortify the smaller bag. If it was the same, if it was going through the same part of the manufacturing process, I think you would go ahead and do both, and you would just you don't have to follow this exemption.
But if they're, so would they have to do this for a big bag? Would they have to put?
I think according to this definition, yes, because it says snack is defined as a smaller single serving portion.
But you can go in the grocery store and you get a little handbag or small bag, and you can get a big family size bag. So is the family size bag of chips?
The family size bag of chips would be fortified. The smaller one would not have to be, but it could be.
Mr. Chairman, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that your concern is there having to be two different, basically a manufacturer, well, take like us, we make cobblers. You'd have to have a different recipe from a 2-pound cobbler to a 3-pound cobbler to a 5-pound cobbler. And so.
You wouldn't have to, though.
Well, you would have to, if you talking about precedents and having to have different ingredients. Yeah.
But you could fortify the smaller one, too.
Yes.
There's nothing, it's not illegal to fortify the smaller one.
Right. There's not, correct, but still you're creating two different precedences based simply on a small bag versus a larger bag. In other words, if you go in there and you go into a gas station, you have the small bags, then you've got the big grab bags, versus the regular size bags. What I'm saying, but what we got number 13? Is that Chairman Burns?
Just a question, if I could, Mr. Chairman. I think the product is the same. We're talking about packaging here, and we've got industry folks who can speak to packaging. And ultimately, they're not going to make this stuff in small sizes. They're going to make it in a large volume, and they're going to fortify it, and they're going to then put it in various package sizes. Is that not true? And maybe we can get someone from the industry to kind of speak to this. While we're doing that, I have another question, just as a refresher. and I think we discussed this the last time we heard the legislation. We're going to fortify corn masa flour with folic acid. And my only question is the cost associated with that fortification.
Okay, so I brought Kevin up here. Sharon can answer that question.
All right. Well, we'll start with Kevin. Kevin, it's okay. Help us understand snacks.
So thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you all to the author for including us and for including this language on snack food. And I think the gray area you're talking about is in the second part of line 47, where it says is typically prepackaged in small or single serving portions, because it does exclude, to your point, Chairman Watson, the larger bag of chips, which would be problematic for manufacturers. While we all support the goal of, and nobody wants spinal bifida, and we're sympathetic to those issues, this is a challenge. Having a group of laws across the country. If you have every state that's calling for different fortification laws, it really creates a complex distribution system. And there's a huge difference in the way that you fortify a tortilla versus a tortilla chip. They're totally different. So the snack food definition, which Senator Harrell has been gracious enough to allow us to include, is important to us, but we do think that there is some confusion in that second part of line 43. It's actually line 47 on mine.
Is it line 47 or 48?
It's
48 and 49, excuse me. It starts
Yeah.
at 47.
What LC is that?
This would be LC 6003. Sam, I can't say. 600324S.
Okay. I got a different one.
Yeah, you have another one. You have a committee sub in your
Okay.
packet, Mr.
All right,
Chairman.
yeah, I got it now. I see it. Gotcha.
Yeah, it turned to.
I'm sorry, I was on the wrong one.
Yeah, no worries. Chairman Watson, Chairman Anderson is wanting to ask a question. You want me to yield to him, or you have another question?
No, I think they've answered it. I have sympathy with that, as I know how it is at my place when we have to put stuff in different packaging, different items go in different boxes, and somebody will call in an order, and we have to run out there and say, stop! We got to put it in a different box. We got to pack it different. We got to do different things, and just don't want to get into that with this, where they got to whoa, we
It's
made too
kinda-
many. We gotta
Yeah.
y'all stop. We got to change the bags. We got to do
You
this.
sound like, Mr. Chairman, you sound like I get that call when we're packing blueberries and we find it's taking us 3 hours to get everything worked to be packing in pints or in 6 ounces, and then next thing you know, by the time you get everything working, they want you to be packing in 18 ounces.
Yeah, exactly.
And then next thing you know, you got blueberries all over the floor. But anyway, Chairman Anderson, go ahead.
The question probably is for Mr. Perry. How does this bill relate to all the other states? I mean, is it put us in line with all the other states to solve the problem you was talking about earlier?
I only know that there's a few states that have done this, California being the first to
And
really do
Alabama.
that. I don't think Alabama's passed yet.
Sharon is the person to answer this question.
Thank you for the question, Senator. This would be in line with what Alabama passed a corn masa fortification bill last year, and they've passed some amendments this year, and this definition is in line with what Alabama has just passed.
Is other states looking at it too?
Yes, Oklahoma, as well as Oklahoma has an actual bill in place. Texas is moving forward with one. A lot of these bills are actually driven by neurosurgeons because they're the ones operating on these spina bifida cases, so they're very motivated for this prevention. So I know of efforts by neurosurgeons in Oklahoma, Texas, Tennessee, and Oregon. And
What is the other states doing?
as I mentioned, Alabama has this definition of
No,
snack.
I'm talking about the North Carolina and South Carolina. I mean, do they have, all the other states, do they have any type of law pertaining to this bill?
So at the federal level, it is allowed there's a federal regulation saying that you can add folic acid to corn masa and corn masa flour, but it's not required. My organization did a supply chain assessment a number of years ago, and we found that most corn masa was not being fortified. So that's kind of what started this state-level push to increase the amount of folic acid fortified products that are available.
Okay, thank you.
And that's something that I think going forward, and I've talked with Senator Harrell about this, and obviously I'm supportive of the proposition, or we wouldn't be here today. But I want to caution everybody about just in general, has a policy across the country when states start passing their own ingredient laws and food laws. It is, and I'm not saying that I'm supportive of what we're doing, but let me tell y'all, it's just like they passed a law in Texas. They've got it where bleached flour, if you have bleached flour in your product, there's about 40 different ingredients. You have to have a warning label. So Wonder Bread's going to have a warning label. When we talk about affordability, do y'all know what that means? When you think about, take the business that we're in, we're making cobblers. It's got bleached flour in it. That's what everybody uses, bleached flour. But we have 7 different flavors, and we're in 40 different states. And the proposition that we could go in and have to have 280 different packages because each state has their own ingredient requirement or labeling requirement. So the states that are doing this stuff one at a time, I do think that eventually, and I told Senator Harrell this today, there's going to be a court case that's going to go to the Supreme Court. And I'm not an attorney, but I think the supremacy clause is going to take over, and it's going to say federal law dictates this stuff. Because you take Piggly Wiggly, Alabama, where we're selling cobblers there, and they're going to Florida, they're going to Georgia, they're going to Alabama, they're going to Tennessee. And so when we talk about affordability, could you imagine what that would be as far as adding to food cost? I say that not particularly in relationship to this bill and what this measure here would do, but there is a difference, I think, in it's when adding folic acid to tortillas versus chips, from my understanding. But at any rate, I'm just saying that to let everyone know that, as we go forward and we're trying to decide policy, and I've been transparent with you about that.
Oh, we've had these discussions, right?
Yeah,
We've talked about this a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those deals where, if every state starts that you have to have a different formulation for every state and a different package for every state, and you've got DCs in grocery stores, and those DCs are sending product to 3 different states because they're in a proximity, because that was where it would be. That's just the logistics of that. But I've got number 15 here.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. To the author, just help me understand the neurologists or neuroscience, which one, neurologists?
Neurosurgeons.
Neurosurgeons. They've identified spina bifida is higher in the Hispanic population.
Twice as high.
Twice
More
as
than
high.
twice as high.
And so you have kind of targeted a staple food in the Hispanic population so that you can get folic acid specifically to pregnant women.
Women of reproductive age, you actually want to get it into them before they're pregnant, because the neural tube is developed in the fetus so early.
Okay. Do we do anything like this with any other product?
Well, we do folic acid in wheat products.
For this reason, or I guess there's
for
other health
exactly
benefits?
the same reason. We
Okay.
just left, we didn't, when we fortified wheat with flour 20 years ago, we forgot to think about the different diet of Latino people. So we're really going back to correct a mistake.
Yeah, and my understanding is, Senator, is that they, it was after World War II when we started fortifying wheat, but I believe it was 1998 or 1999 that there was a ruling from USDA said that if you are going to fortify wheat, then you have to put folic acid in it.
Okay.
So that's kind of where we're at.
And it's been very successful.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
I might add to that, in terms of the state by state, that the amount of folic acid would be consistent across the states because it's following the science, right?
Yeah, we
Yes.
tried to keep it consistent.
But no, I
for
understand what you're saying,
producers.
but you've got 50 different states, and all 50 states may not pass this bill, or there may be 3 states that do it, or
Right,
6 states.
Right, but the
And then if
the
it's
food
a-
producers can just, if they're having to do it for Alabama and Georgia, but they also sell in North Carolina, they can do it in North Carolina too. They can
Right.
choose to just,
Unless that legislature decides that they want to go to a different formula, or a different amount of folic acid. That's the only thing I'm
I
saying.
don't think that would happen, because it's following a science.
No, I understand. All right, number 12,
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Senator Howard.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate this topic very much, and forgive me for trying to catch up. I know this has been
the
a topic.
newcomer.
I'm the newcomer. This has been a year into it, but as I'm catching up, can you help me understand, I guess, the differences as far as strategy? And prenatal vitamins, folic acid is a big part of prenatal vitamins. It's targeted, it's for women who are considering, I guess not always, but that's one way you can target a vitamin supplement. Can you help me understand strategy between a vitamin strategy versus supply chain and a whole
Sure.
segment
Sure.
of food supply?
The vitamin strategy doesn't really work because the neural tube develops in the fetus so early that by the time most women get in for their first prenatal care appointment, realize they're pregnant, go in for their first prenatal care appointment, start on prenatal vitamins, it's too late. And so the strategy is to up the amount of folic acid in all women who could get pregnant, so that when they get pregnant, they already have that folic acid in the system, because if you wait later, then it's too late.
Well, I guess you shut yourself off, didn't you, Senator Howard?
No.
Okay.
Also, I might
Sure,
add.
go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
sorry. I might add too that when we had the hearing, there was a lot of discussion about how this effort has tried for a very long time to get this done voluntarily and has not been successful. That's why we moved to a state by
And
state strategy.
we met with several folks throughout this.
Right.
You and I we met with the folks that came out from Texas. And,
Right.
okay, Senator Kemp.
Yeah, thank you so much for this and continuing to educate us on a very important issue. I think you just raised something that was really important. I just want to make sure I'm clear. So if Georgia were to do this, and let's say Alabama is doing it, as I understand they're working on, updating the law that they passed. And so you're starting to have kind of a regional effect, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if folks are distributing to Alabama, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, they could still sell the products that are required to have the amounts in Georgia and Alabama, because they don't have a certain requirement that, there's a certain level of folic acid in them, but you're still meeting their laws by distributing now what is required in Georgia and Alabama in the other states that are surrounding. Is that correct?
Thank you for the question, Senator. Not 100% sure if I understood, but there would be nothing stopping producers from distributing the same products that meet the requirements in Georgia to any other state. There's no state with prohibitions, and it would match the level in the bill matches the federal level.
Got it.
Does that answer your
Yes,
question?
it does. Thank you.
All right. We have any further questions? No further questions? All right. Let's see here.
Mr. Chairman, if there are no more questions, I would like to make a motion do pass.
All righty. We have a motion do pass. Do we have a second? Okay. We have Senator Howard, what number? Are you 12? Okay. We have a motion do pass in a second. I think we have, well, my light's blinking here, Mr. Chairman, so I guess that's Chairman Watson.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, if it would be okay with the author, would it be okay for us to just strike that line where we're not talking about different sizes? Would that help bring everybody together on this? I guess it would be line 47, 48, and part of 49. Part of 47, part of 48, and part of 49.
Can you give like the
From-
start word and the end word?
From delete is typically prepackaged in small or single serving portions and is primarily consumed between meals. Just strike that one line there and go. So it reads snack food means a food product that is intended for immediate consumption, including but not limited to chips, crisps, or extruded food products. Where we're just talking about chips in general, and not getting into this size or that size or big sizes, little sizes. I know how that is back home.
What would you think about keeping the primarily consumed between meals, but striking the single serving portions?
Striking.
So you'd strike from line 47, starting with the word is, and go through line 48, ending with the word portions.
It's immediate consumption.
Snack
is-
food means a food product that is intended for immediate consumption and is primarily consumed between meals, including but not limited to. So we're striking is typically packaged in small or single serving portions. Snack to me does mean eating between meals.
Okay, we've got, why don't we, yeah, repeat, Senator, do you want to make that in the form of a motion? Or what you're proposing to do?
Yeah, I'm make a motion to strike is typically prepackaged in a smaller single serving portion and is primarily consumed between meals. That is my motion.
Okay, that is your motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion about this amendment? We've got Chairman Burns.
Question, I'd just like to ask the food and beverage industry to weigh in on this amendment. Is that
Yes, sir, I was planning on doing
Yeah,
that, but I was
I'd like to
waiting
know-
for everybody to get done asking their questions.
again, I think the issue is, does that make a clear distinction about what a snack food is? I think that's the question.
Mr. Chairman, we support Chairman Watson's amendment.
All right, thank you. I just need to make sure that we're on the same page.
Yes, sir.
All right, Chairman Watson, do we have any more lights lighting up? Okay. We have, the bill's been, motion to pass in a second. There's been a motion to make an amendment. Did we get a second on that? We did. Was it Sarah? Okay. So Chairman Anderson seconded. Is there any further discussion on that amendment? Okay. All in favor of the amendment, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Okay, now we're going to take a vote on the bill as amended. So, is there any further discussion on the underlying bill as amended? Oh, okay.
Mr. Chairman, I got one question.
Get Carden.
Mr. I tell you what, Chairman Summers, if you just give me 1 second, Chairman Anderson beat you to it. Chairman Anderson, what?
One serious question about the whole bill that the chairman needs to know, and I need to know, and everyone in here needs to know. Is this gonna affect the taste of our grandmama's cornbread?
No, absolutely not.
All right. Hey, Chairman Summers.
That's a good question.
Chairman Summers, what number are
Very
you?
good question.
14. Okay. Go ahead, Chairman Summers.
The author also mentioned 47 and 48 is over to preparation. Was that part of that motion, or is that in or out of it?
No, it's out.
That's out of it.
What was the
I
question?
think you're on the wrong LC, Mr. Chairman. We need to be on the LC with the S on the end of it for committee substitute.
Oh, hell, no wonder. All right.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry. Sorry about that, Mr. Chairman.
Let's go.
All right. Let's see. Senator Howard, is your microphone supposed to be on?
Yes.
Okay, it is on.
Thank you.
All right.
I turned it off last time. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a couple questions one question about states that have implemented this. I think you mentioned Alabama, and there's been some amendments. just wanted to get an idea of what were some of those amendments based on after having a year having to implement it. And I have a second question about.
You
has
don't
there
give
been
one,
any?
one
Oh,
question. I'm just
sorry,
kidding.
thank
I'm
you.
kidding. Go ahead.
There will be a second question. I'll wait for the appropriate
No, you
time.
go ahead.
But if you want to do this one, I can ask the second one later.
Yeah, so the main amendment was the definitions, just to make it very clear what all was covered in terms of products. So that was the main one, and then kind of during that process, the snack amendment got added by our friends in the food industry.
And if I made a second question was, have we seen any positive or results of fortifying this particular food as far as trying to reduce some of the rates of spina bifida? Because it's such a rare thing anyway.
I don't know if you would. This haven't been in law long enough to see any results.
Exactly. Yep. So
Yeah.
we can see from wheat flour when that was implemented, it was about a 35% reduction nationwide in these birth defects. In terms of Alabama, it actually hasn't been implemented yet because we build in time for producers to change their packaging and things like that. So it hasn't gone into effect in that way yet in Alabama. I will say, in California, we've done some market assessments, myself and some of my colleagues at UC Davis, and we have seen increase in that availability of fortified products.
It's
And
too early to really say effectiveness. Obviously, it
That's
takes
about,
time.
Senator, that's about like when I go on a diet. I go on a diet,
Yeah.
and 30 minutes later,
Yeah.
I expect to be lost 20 pounds.
Yeah, yeah.
Y'all got any stats?
Yeah, that's right. Chairman, yes, sir. We got one more. We got Chairman Hatchett, and then we're going to call the question.
Just for the purposes of discussion, and I'll yield to Ledge Council, lines 71 through 77 in the definition section, we put corn mesa flour at the end of each sentence, so it reads, offers for sale or uses as an ingredient in the manufacture of snack foods, corn mesa flour, and then it repeats on 2 with a slightly different definition. Would it be better or clearer to put uses corn mesa flour as an ingredient in the manufacture of snack foods? To me, with corn mesa flour at the end of the sentence, for some reason, that's just triggering as not flowing properly in my mind. Could you weigh in on that, Ledge Council?
I'm sorry. What number are you, dear?
So it would be, go ahead. Line 71 through 77.
71 through 77. I don't know if we're looking at the same bill.
Do you have the right LC number?
Do you have the
no,
S on the end
I'm
of
not
it?
on the sub. So on the sub, I apologize. Let me see.
Because you said definitions. You said definitions, so.
So this would be, oh, you corrected it in the sub.
Oh, there we go. So we ready for the vote on the amendment. All in favor of the amendment offered by,
We already did that.
we already voted on the amendment? Okay, now we're voting on the underlying bill. I'm sorry. Okay, all in favor of the bill as amended? All right. Is any opposed? All right, bill passes unanimously. This meeting is adjourned.
Thank you very much.